Welcome. Episode 7, Flippin' Street or Make It Weird. Oh my gosh, I just found a part of my toe. It's weird to begin with. Sorry, that's just so gross.
Was that tea you're drinking? What are you drinking over there?
I am drinking tea over there.
Okay.
Over here, not over there. But no, seriously, it was weird because I was picking at my... Never mind. I'm not even going to start the show like this. Yeah, I am a little bit. I'm a picker.
And you left it.
I left it. I just found it again. Right. I was like, oh, this is gross.
Episode
what is
7
this?
Cut.
Yeah, and it was part of my toe. It's so good to be back. We had a little hiatus because I had to go to Las Vegas. The hiatus of Las Vegas is what we're calling it. Mm-hmm. And it was my first time ever to Las Vegas.
Which is unbelievable.
Why is
I've only been once, but...
Yeah, and I mean, why is that crazy? It's not too crazy. I'm only middle-aged now.
Because you're almost 40 years old. Like, you've missed your prime to go to Vegas.
You say that, but I don't think I did.
Tell everyone what you did while you were in Vegas.
I went to sleep at about 8 or 9 p.m., which, by the way, really, everybody, like even Katy Perry has a song about waking up in Vegas and all this kind of stuff. And like, people talk about that. And it's always the focus of things. Let's talk about trying to go to sleep in Vegas when you don't want to party. It's nearly impossible. It's nearly impossible to go to sleep in Las Vegas. We were at a hotel, okay? And it's about 8:30, 9 p.m., and I'm getting ready for bed. And I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to turn on a show. And because we're kid-free for the weekend.
So old.
We're kid-free. Okay. No, I'm serious. This was the delight. This is so delightful. It was going to be until Las Vegas ruined it. But anyway, so it was. So I turn on the show. I get into bed. It's beautiful. And then I just hear, are you ready for Las Vegas? Yeah, we're going to go down there and get a party. I'm like, what the hell is happening right now? And I swear I opened, so we had room blackening curtains, all right, that's great that they provide those. I'll give them that, this hotel. But I opened the window, and in the courtyard of the hotel, so like it's a big square of a hotel. And they're like, what the hell are you thinking of putting on? And the courtyard of the hotel is a huge stage with like these rave lights flashing and all these people out in the middle of the courtyard of this hotel. And this concert, or whatever it was, is starting at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. on a Wednesday night. And here they are. We're going to party until 4 a.m. Who's ready? I'm like, no, not me. Not ready. It was awful. It was truly awful. That one night. No, the rest of the nights was okay. They didn't party every single night. But they had everybody was there. All at this one hotel. It was like Wu-Tang Clan and like all these people were there. It was crazy.
Wu-Tang was there?
Yeah, for like 4 nights we were sleeping
Jared
there.
Loves them.
Oh well, gosh, he would have been great because he doesn't sleep anyway. He would have loved it. 4 out of like whatever nights it was all Wu-Tang Clan.
Wu-Tang lullaby.
It was pretty much. That's exactly what it was. Every single night, just wooed to sleep there. So anyway, it was an adventure. We'll talk more about that. I have more to share about that. I don't want to just like totally take up the whole show with Las Vegas necessarily, but oh my gosh, it was an adventure. And
I was just going to say, if there was any doubt before last weekend that you have entered prime time middle age, this is it, my friend.
To counter that, when we landed in Las Vegas, we got an Uber and to take us to the hotel. And so we get into the back of this Uber, and it's a very nice lady. She's like, oh, where are you guys going? We tell her our hotel, all this kind of stuff. And she's listening to like James Taylor or some sort of relaxing kind of soft rock music. And I was like, this is great. And that's what I thought. This is great. And she looks in the mirror, and I see her just kind of glance. She's looking at me, and then she looks at Brittany. She goes, oh, you guys are young. You don't want to listen to this stuff. And she changes it to EDM. So immediately, once we get to into the back of the Uber into Las Vegas, again, it was and I swear that music. Did you take your
hat off?
No, I didn't. No, my hat stayed on the whole time, so they couldn't tell how old I was.
Shut that down real quick.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, you guys are young. I was like, I'm taking it. All right. I'm not going to correct you on that. So I listened to EDM music the entire ride also because I wasn't going to correct her. I was going to be like, actually, this is awful. And I really preferred the James Taylor.
But I don't want you knowing how old I really am.
Yeah. But the other thing you need to know, I put together a list of all the things you need to know about Las Vegas if you've never been there.
Oh, okay.
And one of those things is that EDM music follows you around everywhere you go.
It does.
In Las Vegas, and even in places where you would not expect EDM music to be. We went into a Walgreens, to use the restroom in a Walgreens, and it was EDM music. I was like, what is happening? And there's like strobe lights in a Walgreens. I'm like, this is the craziest place I've ever been.
I just need some ibuprofen.
Yeah, no, seriously, that's exactly right. And so that is one of the things on the list. We'll get to more of that later. Do you have some good news? Do you have some positive things to share with us today?
I do. That
we can start with. News. Let's at least start with that, okay? And then we can get back to Las Vegas.
Then we'll get back to waking up or going to sleep in Vegas.
Yeah.
No, I wanted to talk about this because this is something that I can kind of ish relate to. Laura and I were pregnant at the same time. She had her son Riker day after my birthday in May of 2022, and I had Jace in December. And so, we had a few months where we were like, we're just like sharing in that. Like it's pretty rare-ish for best friends to be pregnant at the same time, like unless they actually plan it and things.
But it wasn't planned. You guys didn't discuss it beforehand or anything. Yeah,
it's even more rare to have something like this happen, where a couple of best friends in Florida, they found out they were pregnant at the same time. Now, I don't know if they planned it or anything like that, but it sure as heck sounds like it. They ended up giving birth on the same day, not only in the same day, in the same hospital.
What?
And in the same hospital room.
What?
Their due dates were 8 days apart, but of course, obviously, that's not how it worked out. So the first one had her baby just after midnight, and then she got moved out to, the other room, and the second friend wheeled on in there, gave birth to her kid, and they both had healthy baby boys. Everyone's doing great, and they've got one birthday that they got to remember for both boys.
That's
perfect.
actually really convenient. Really convenient. In fact, if I could have arranged that to happen, that'd have been really nice. That's crazy. What are the odds of that?
Yeah.
I mean, the same room.
Isn't that cool?
Not only the same day,
room,
the same hospital.
day.
I mean, that's crazy.
Wild. Yeah. Glad it wasn't on the same bed though, because that would have been a little too much.
How do you know it wasn't? Do they? Oh, yeah. I guess because they roll the bed.
I mean,
they roll the bed like most. That's right. Because I'm trying.
Either way, I'm going to choose to believe.
Yeah. No, I was just thinking back to like so when
that was a different one.
Brittany had.
That's not something you want to go.
No, I don't think so. Yeah. No, but that's right. They rolled the same bed into like the other part of the hospital.
They wheeled him in,
at least
him out
for a little while. Yeah, I'm sure they did. That's pretty cool. That's really neat.
Yeah,
I like that story. That's some good news. Mm-hmm. Do you want to before we? There's a lot of there's so much I want to talk about. And I don't even know what to get to. I'm just like bursting at the seams.
I know you are.
Talk about some of these things. So if there's anything you want to talk about, please do it now, because I have a feeling.
Please get it out of the way.
Yeah. Do it now. I feel it. I feel it coming on. I feel like I might take over the rest of the show really quickly, because there's so much I was amazed at about Las Vegas, and then Bobby has been doing crazy stuff, and Luna, and like I just want to talk about that too, and I just got a lot of stuff. So what's on your mind though? Do you have anything you want to share today for That's So Florida, or what or anything like that before we get into some of those things?
Well, there was a That's So Florida story that I thought was pretty interesting to share. It happened in Florida. There was a 22-year-old woman who flew into a rage when a Domino's pizza that she ordered was delivered to her that she says allegedly was cold and uncut.
Yeah.
Now, see, I'm one that
I've had those before, and I still enjoy
typically
them.
enjoys a cold pizza.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind cold pizza left over. Well, she drove to the restaurant. She started flipping out on the employees. She got arrested for criminal mischief, spent a night in jail before being released, and she was ordered not to have contact with that Domino's location. And she is not prevented, though, from ordering pizza from another establishment. So I don't know if there's an APB out in Florida.
I do remember. I don't know. That's a good question, but I remember walking into a different pizza restaurant. I don't know if I should say the name of it or not, but it's another pizza chain, a very big one, very big one. That anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I walked into the pizza restaurant, and it was a delivery only. Like they didn't have. I don't think any of the chains actually, any of them have a sit down area inside. So you walk in and you can carry out a pizza.
Okay.
Anyway, that narrows it down to a few. But in any case, they're nationwide.
Yeah.
I walked into the one local to me, and behind the register, I swear, were like 4 or 5 printouts of people you're not supposed to answer the phone or deliver pizza to. Like they had like a wanted list of like this guy was there's like photos and numbers on the wall of these people are like, this guy doesn't get pizza anymore. This guy doesn't get pizza anymore. No pizza from this number. And it's like, what?
They didn't have the reasons?
No,
though?
that's what was bugging me the most.
I need to know the stories behind those.
Yeah.
Like why?
The wall of
what
shame.
was so bad about those people to put them on the wall of shame?
Exactly.
At a pizza place.
I would love to know exactly what got them banned from ordering
That'd be great.
A pizza from this, mediocre pizza place. Not to name any names. Anyway,
Yeah.
so in any case, that is.
You're going to be on that wall pretty soon.
I am going to get on the
Shut your
wall.
mouth.
They probably will. I'm going to get on all of the chains now, just in case they're talking about mine. No, actually, in all fairness, the chain that I'm talking about, I like them a lot. Brittany doesn't like them, and so we never get to get it. So I will go in there sometimes, like if it's just me. I'll go in, I'll get a small pizza just for myself because, and then so she doesn't have to know.
I think I know which one you're talking about, and I don't think they have gluten free, so we've never eaten, but we can't eat there anymore.
They probably don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's only a few of the chain ones that have gluten free pizzas.
Yeah. I don't think this one does. I've never heard it advertised anyway as having it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I should go in there and throw a fit about that. Maybe I'll get on the wall of shame.
I bet you could. Oh my gosh, that'd be a great thing to test.
That is non-inclusive.
Let's find out. We can go in and find out what gets you on the wall of shame. We'll each go in and try different things, and then we can come back in and see who ends
makes
up.
it first.
Yeah, who gets up on the wall of shame first? The no service at the pizza place wall. I would love that. I would love to know that.
That'd be great.
Where did what part of Florida did that happen in? Because maybe her face will pop up in ours. I mean, does that?
Let me see here.
Don't go through a bunch of stuff. I was just curious where it was.
Misdemeanor, St. Pete. St. Petersburg.
St. Petersburg. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well.
Ooh, girl, that mugshot.
Oh, you got the mugshot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, I'm a little sad that I can't see that. You'll have to share that.
She looks like she regrets nothing.
That's the exact type of picture. That's what all of the people on the wall of shame behind the counter at that pizza place look like. All their faces up there, and they're just like smiling and laughing.
Yeah. They probably put it on their resume.
Yeah, they might. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I would.
Yeah. Do you have any awards or accomplishments we should know about? Yes. As a matter of fact, I do.
I am on the wall of fame.
Did you say fame? No, shame. I'm sorry. I meant shame.
Yeah. Same thing.
Yeah,
same,
very similar.
Same difference.
Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it.
All right, so let's get back to Vegas.
You want to talk more about Vegas? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you want to talk about Bobby first? I don't know. We have no rules.
We'll talk about Vegas, and then we'll finish that since that was kind of fresh on my mind.
Okay.
So Las Vegas. Okay, difficult to get to sleep. That was impossible. It was okay. For real quick, here's the top 10. Not top 10, but top things that I learned first of all from my quick trip. Number one, lotion and chapstick. You got to bring a ton of that, and it has to be a thick lotion.
Oh yeah,
it is so dry. It's so dry. My skin was falling off throughout the whole time. I swear to you, I was shedding.
Like shedding your
everywhere.
skin.
Yeah, it was gross. And it was almost instant. Like as soon as I got back home, everything's fine.
Right. The humidity brings it all back in order.
But while I was there, it was so strange how dry it was. So that's tip number 1. All right. I hope you're following. I'll write a book about this later for your convenience. EDM music follows you everywhere. Walgreens, EDM. Marshalls, EDM. Doctor's office, EDM. I mean, there's just EDM music everywhere. Strobe lights everywhere.
Funeral home, wedding chapel.
Yeah, exactly. Which I think are all the same thing. A casino, funeral home, wedding chapel, Walgreens, doctor's office. It's like all in one there.
It's all in one.
We arrived at the airport in Las Vegas at 9 a.m. because of the time change stuff. Like we got there early.
You go back into time traveled.
We did. We went back in time. We had breakfast and then we got to the airport and we're like, I guess we can have breakfast. But that's what's crazy about landing in Vegas is that everything's open. We got to Vegas at 9 a.m. and I swear, so there's a Mexican restaurant in the airport. And I hear mariachi music, and people are like, and there's a mariachi band, and I'm not making this up. There's a mariachi band going and I'm like, okay, where's this music come from? I look over, and so this Mexican restaurant at 9 a.m. in Las Vegas, and we landed on that was a Wednesday. It was a Wednesday at 9 a.m. And we land, and I hear mariachi music. I'm like, where's that coming from? And I kind of walk down the hall a little bit, and there's a Mexican restaurant, and there's not one open table in the Mexican restaurant at 9 a.m. There's a birthday party happening at 9 a.m. There's those big ass margaritas everywhere, at everybody's seat. There's like 12 people, all these ladies, and 3 of them are in like sombreros. The mariachi band's going crazy. They're going, whoa! It's crazy. And that's just like one of the restaurants in the Las Vegas airport, Harry Reid Airport, at 9 a.m. on a Wednesday. And everybody there had margaritas and drinks, and it was chaos. I have been to Mexican restaurants at 9 p.m. on Saturday night here that were not they were not half as busy as the Las Vegas Mexican restaurant at 9 a.m. on a Wednesday. I swear to God, it was crazy. It was
never
insane.
Sleep. They never stop.
Yeah,
never stop drinking. Never stop.
It was insane. That was wild. So
it's incredible.
So there's that too. That's one of the things. It's always okay to have a margarita.
I'd be drinking a bunch of margaritas to get on an airplane, though. Yeah. In the first place, I feel like I would be.
Most of these people just got off the airplane.
Recreating that bridesmaid scene with Kristen Wiig.
Yeah,
and just walking up and down the aisle.
I've still never seen that. I need to watch that movie.
You have not seen Bridesmaids?
No, we go over this every time, but no, I still haven't seen that. I know.
And every time I'm just like so disappointed. I finally saw My Cousin Vinny, by the way.
No, you didn't.
So
did you really?
I did too.
Did you really?
It's actually pretty funny. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great movie. So now, since
least you can do is watch Bridesmaids.
I'll watch Bridesmaids. Yeah. That's my promise to you.
It's hilarious.
The next 6
months.
God,
it's so funny. It's one of my favorites.
I've heard it's great. Brittany loves it. She's seen it many times.
It's great. I went to see it. Came out when I was still in Gainesville, and I went to go see it with one of my best friends, who was one of my bridesmaids in my first wedding.
Of course.
And it was so funny. Like, we got to see like a screening of it and everything before it was released to the public and everything. It was great.
That's pretty cool. That's actually really neat. So I'll watch that. Anyway, I don't assuming what happens. I mean, that plane ride there was kind of like that, but we were coming from 7 a.m. so people weren't quite as there were a few people kind of drinking on the plane. But
right.
I mean,
it was turnt.
Yeah. It still felt pretty early or whatever. Because we left at like 7 a.m. and then I can't remember. Actually, it was later and then we got earlier. I don't remember how it worked, but it was early when we left. We left at like 7 and we had to go to 2 other airports before we got to Las Vegas. Anyway, so let's see. The most helpful tips when you're in Las Vegas come from your drivers. If you want to know anything about like the best restaurants, the best places to go, most of your drivers have that best information. That's probably the same for everywhere, but like they were very talkative and very helpful. Well, the best tip we got, and this was unsolicited, by the way, it was just one of the Uber drivers said, by the way, if you guys are going out to any adult entertainment clubs, you can always tell which ones are the best by looking at the cars that are parked out back of the club where the workers park, where the staff park. They said, look at the cars. Look at the cars out back where the staff parks if you're going to go to one of those adult entertainment clubs.
Yeah.
Because mediocre.
Hold on, wait. Yeah.
He says,
keep on driving.
Mediocre tips, don't buy Mercedes. That's exactly what he said. Mediocre tips, don't buy Mercedes. So he said, if you see a bunch of Mercedes and Ferraris parked out back, he says, that's the one you want to go to. Because that's where you're going to,
right.
That's what's going to be best. So that's kind of.
Did you take that advice?
No, I was in bed by 9 p.m. every night. Are you kidding me?
Hey, they're open 24/7.
That is true. Everything is open 24/7. It seems like there, but no, we did not.
You can go get a margarita.
I swear to you, I didn't spend one penny on anything that anybody does. I didn't gamble. I didn't do a slot. I didn't do anything.
What a waste.
We ate. I saw shows. Okay, we saw, which was incredible. We saw a Cirque du Soleil show that was phenomenal. It was Michael Jackson's One.
Oh.
That was awesome. We saw comedians David Spade and Nikki Glaser, which they were fantastic.
I love Nikki.
Yeah, they were great. She's St. Louisan.
Is she?
Shout out to our St. Louis folks. Hey! And then she brought with her this other comedian, Tim. God, I can't remember his last. Convey. I think it's Convey, and he's from St. Louis also, and he's very good. That's what I say.
Okay.
I think he works. Fun fact: he works for the radio station I used to work at in St. Louis.
Really?
Yeah, now.
So he's like your replacement.
I think he is. He's better looking, more talented, funnier.
Huh.
Probably.
What's his number?
Charges less. I don't know. I mean, yeah, you can reach out to him. See, I think he's got a podcast that was just picked up by Nate Bargatze's podcast people. So he's above your pay grade too.
Okay.
So forget it. He's replacing everybody. Anyway, so they were really funny. We saw that, and then what else did we do? And then we ate. We ate a bunch of good food. We explored. We saw the fountains at the Bellagio, and we walked down.
Oh yeah.
Where
did y'all stay? You stayed on the Strip, right?
We did not stay directly on the Strip. We were like two blocks off the Strip.
And it was still that loud?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, when the Wu-Tang Clan is playing there every night. And there were several other people, too.
We miss Wu-Tang.
I wish that
Jared's
you could have taken my place. In that hotel room for that weekend. No, all of it was a major. I don't necessarily want to rat out the hotel because, other than that, it was a pretty nice spot, but it was a little crazy. And it's probably every hotel there that does that at 9 p.m. on a Wednesday night. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But it was really loud and it was unexpected. I did not expect. I mean, it was like nothing. It was like quiet, and then all of a sudden, we're gonna party, Las Vegas. Like welcome. I don't know. Anyway, it was crazy. It was like 9 p.m.
So Wu-Tang was at your hotel?
Yeah, they were there. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we partied with them. Yeah. No,
you wouldn't even know.
I did. I have no clue. We probably. Who knows? They were there for like 3 or 4 nights while we were there, playing shows each night. So it was pretty crazy. But you could find out which hotel it is by looking that up if you really wanted to, I guess.
Yeah.
But it was nice. It was a really nice hotel. But that was alarming. So that's. Yeah, that was alarming to have that happen. Okay, so last thing that I learned in Las Vegas. It's not that I learned it, but I don't like to judge people. Okay, I don't.
It's like I'm not trying to be mean.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be mean.
You're still trying to be mean.
No,
You're
I'm
still
not.
Gonna be mean.
I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not going to be
it.
mean.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
But I did notice this, and it did catch me off guard a lot like the Wu-Tang Clan at 9 p.m. on. No, it wasn't actually Wu-Tang's music, by the way. That was whatever that thing. The event in the Courtyard was different from the Wu-Tang. I think that show was going on at the same time, the Courtyard thing. So I'm not blaming.
Oh, okay.
I don't want any beef.
Yeah.
I don't want any beef.
Right. No beef with the Wu-Tang.
Correct. I don't want
things on my lawn from Wu-Tang. You know what I'm saying?
I just. So it was not that. It was a separate event that was causing the ruckus at 9 p.m.
Okay.
on a Wednesday night on the lawn.
Yeah, I'm sure Wu-Tang was very civil, very, very well.
To be honest, we
tempered.
didn't hear anything. They were fine. You know, it was really great crowd. Highly recommend.
Yeah.
5 stars. Courtyard people, you can tone it down a little bit.
Not so much.
Yeah. Courtyard folks are a little wild. Anyway, so here's the other thing I noticed. Going out,
Yeah.
you know, we were out past 9 p.m. a couple of nights, the comedy show and the
Living on the edge,
Cirque du
yeah.
Soleil thing, and we'd walk back down on the strip at like 11 or 12 at night, okay?
Yeah.
And still very busy. I mean, very busy out there.
yeah.
It didn't matter what night. And it was very busy, and I don't know if the last time you've been there, they have these elevated walkways that cross all the streets above, so you don't have to cross intersections. And
I don't think so.
And they go
It was like
in and out of
2011.
other. They go in and out of other hotels and casinos. So like the walkways are elevated. You kind of go into one, and you go out the other, and then you walk around, and it's like
that's
it's
cool.
Yeah, it's really neat. So
Yeah.
even if you're just walking home, you still kind of get exposed to these different little, you know, casinos and spaces and malls,
Right.
and stuff. And so as we were walking home, I noticed a lot of babies. A lot of babies in
a bar?
in the casinos and the malls and on the streets with their parent, not alone. They were with parents, but babies. I mean, in these places at 11 and 12 o'clock at night, and I'm thinking,
Yeah.
on the Las Vegas Strip, and there's a lot of
Sweet
crazy
home
things
Alabama
happening. I
and
mean,
it
there's
up.
a lot of crazy things happening on the Strip at 11 and 12 at
Yeah.
night in Las Vegas. Things that this
Yeah.
Midwestern boy has not seen. Let me tell you about that.
Yes.
Even in St. Louis,
Yes.
we didn't see these things.
It'll
It was
culture you
different.
real quick.
It was different. That's what I was thinking. I was like, I mean, so there's a part of me. It's like, I mean, I guess expose them to it. You know, like, hey, they're never going to grow up and be like, wow, that's crazy, that's weird. They're gonna be like, that's fine, whatever. You know. So it's like part of me is like, well, I guess it could be, but it concerned me. It concerned me a little bit. How do you feel? Is that normal there? Did you see that when you were there? I mean, it was 2011.
No, I don't remember seeing babies and stuff.
There were a lot of babies. A lot of babies.
I
There was a
don't
lady.
know. Like, that's a little too. To me, it's like if you're not a teenager, I would say like maybe teenager-ish.
Is about the earliest
years.
time. Yeah.
Probably about the earliest
Yeah.
I would bring.
Well, I mean, because the thing
My
that
kids
concerned me
out.
the most is like on the casino floors and even like in our hotel, you could just smoke. You could smoke everywhere
Oh, yeah,
inside.
that's
Inside,
true,
it was like
yeah.
stepping back into the 80s or something.
See, I
or the
didn't realize they
90s.
still did that.
Yeah,
in the
no, you
casino.
could-
I guess
you
they do
could.
it in Cherokee. You know, at the
Yeah.
casino there that I grew up going
I
to
was
with my
I
mom.
was shocked because I'd never, everywhere that Rami has been non-smoking for years, now.
Right.
I mean, it's not since like that I can remember going into, the last to like be smoke free was like a Denny's or something at like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I don't know. I can't remember, but to have a
there is
smoking
cool.
section.
There are cool things for kids to do in Vegas, but not after dark.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
there's museums and things like that. I think there's like Hershey World
there's
or
a lot.
something
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
we went. I went to Hershey World, and we went to the
Yeah,
Atomic Museum, which was really awful,
yeah.
but really great. It was it's
Yeah.
about nuclear weapons, and it's kind of like, ooh,
Right.
this is terrifying, and horrifying, but also is really
Super
neat.
cool. I'm gonna touch it. Yeah.
So there's a lot of cool stuff out there for kids, but
Yeah, there is.
11, 12 o'clock at night, it seemed a little crazy.
Yeah, after dark
Anyway,
on the
not
strip,
passing judgment.
maybe
Hey,
not so
you
much.
know what? Each their
No.
own. It was just noticed it. That's it. Just
Not
noticed it.
passing judgment,
Putting
but
it out
that's
there.
what we just did for the past 5 minutes.
Correct. Yeah. We'll edit that out. Hey, speaking of crazy bleep that your kids do or that you do with
Yes.
your kid, I don't know. I want to transition to that real quick. And let's talk about
What happened to Bobby?
Oh, so Bobby, he has a newer job. He's been working. He's saving for his
does,
first
yeah.
car. He's so excited about it. He's working so hard. And so his job right now is it's pushing carts. Okay. And so he loves it. He really he loves it.
Yeah.
He gets good exercise, and he's very, he's on the ball. He is on the.
Really? See, I feel like he would be stopping and talking to everybody.
He does talk to a lot. He does stop and talk to everybody. That is
he
true.
still gets it.
That he still gets it done.
Yeah.
He still gets it done. Like we went to the place that he works in, and so like there's one cart pusher for one side of the parking lot, and there's one for the other. Like the other side's like Carly's cart's backed up, and like on his side, not like boom, nothing. Totally clear, because he's kind of OCD about that stuff. He's very, very particular about that stuff.
Yep.
So he's been doing that really, really nicely. And so, but the other day I went to pick him up from work, and I asked him. I said, "How'd your day? How was your day?" And he's like, "Oh, it was awesome." And that's usually he's just like, "Oh, it's good. It was fine. You know, it was good. It was okay." He's like, "It was great." He's like, "I think I really, really was able to make a really good point to my boss."
Oh dear.
I was like, "Oh, okay,
okay."
Like, I think my boss really got it. Got it this time, or something, or got what I was saying. And he said something to that effect. He said, I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, what was it? And, why is he so happy about it?" He's like, "Well," he's like, "I went to lunch." And when I got back from lunch, my boss said, "Hey, Bobby, there's no carts in the cart thing. Like, what's going on? Like, this is your fault. You need to do a better job of making sure there's always carts available for customers here in this cart thing. And there's no carts and all this kind of stuff." And so he said, "Well, when I left for lunch, like I check out for lunch at this time, and he said, when I left for lunch, it was more than half full of carts, about 75% full of carts or whatever."
Right.
And he said, so it definitely was when I left for lunch. Because it wasn't. I would not leave it that way. I know the rule. Like I know that it's supposed to be. Yeah. It's supposed to be carts here before we leave. And so he says, he goes, "So since you're my supervisor," he says, "and since I was at lunch, that would actually make it your fault that there's no carts."
Oh.
He was saying this all matter of fact, though. Like, he doesn't mean it.
Right.
He's so matter of fact.
He's not upset.
No, he's not
anything.
upset. He's just like, actually, correction.
You totally see him doing this.
Correction. He's like, "It's not my fault there's no carts because you're my supervisor and you knew that I was at lunch. It was your responsibility to arrange for somebody else to be covering this cart place while I'm gone, while I'm at lunch, to make sure the carts continue to be replaced. So that would make it
old boy in zone A could have come and covered for me."
Correct. That would make it your fault. And Bobby said, and I was like, well, oh my God. I was like, "Oh God, Bobby." I was like, "Oh no."
If you didn't get fired?
Yeah, exactly. And I said, what did she say? She said, "Well, she kind of walked off." I was like, "Oh no." "Oh, Bobby." I was like, "Well, don't go spending your money just yet on a new car." I said, "Let's give it a little while. Let's see what happens."
Yeah. Let's make sure it's going to be.
It's been a couple weeks, and I asked her, I check in. I was like, "Everything good?" He's like, yeah, everything's fine. They really like me. They say I do a great job. And I was like, and recently they've told you that again? I was like, "Yeah." He's like, yeah.
Have you followed that up?
Yeah, exactly. He's like, "No, yeah, they all have been really impressed by how much I do." I was like, "Okay, all right, just checking."
Yeah.
He's like, "Why?" I was like, "Nothing, no reason. Everything's fine."
Just gonna keep this copy of your resume right over here, just in case you need it.
Yeah, exactly. So
need it to grab and go.
But he's got a point.
Couple of days.
He's got a point. And you know what? And here's the thing: just because your manager, just because you have somebody that is a supervisor or as a manager, doesn't necessarily mean they're right. You know what I mean? Like, right. It's not always that way. So sometimes it's okay.
We've had bosses that weren't right.
And exactly. And it's okay to express, I think, those, your concerns if you feel that something's not correct. And as long as you do it in a nice and constructive manner to do that. So I think it's okay.
You're better at that than I am. But, yeah.
I don't know.
I usually make you do all that stuff.
Yeah. You just say, "I'm not showing up tomorrow." And I was like, "No, you have to. You got to show up tomorrow."
No.
And you're like, "Not until you fix that." And I was like, dang it. We're having a meeting. I got to call a meeting.
I'm not doing that remote. There's a Gators game on Saturday.
Exactly. Then I clean up your mess somehow. Work it out. No, but that's what's been going on with Bobby, and I thought that was pretty wild, fun to share.
So next week we'll have an update to see where he's employed at.
Yeah, hopefully the same spot. Gosh,
Job number
I hope
3.
the same spot. Hopefully he doesn't say anything else bad. No, that was fun. I think it's a good thing to say.
I think it was good.
I really do. I think it was good.
I don't know though. Like some managers, I feel like they take it
it
that
personally.
the wrong way.
Yeah. That's what I was worried about.
Personally. Yeah. So hopefully she's like, for her to just walk away, maybe she's just like, all right, whatever, I'm done here.
Yeah. It's like, okay, I guess he's kind of okay, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't have time for this.
That's. I hope that's more what it was.
Yeah.
But also it's like, also it's his first. Hopefully she understands it's his first job. He doesn't know it's his first real job.
Yeah.
One of his first real jobs. You're trying to figure out what do you do.
I can only imagine what the managers at Build-A-Bear thought of me for the first year or so that I was there.
Yeah, I worked at one of those big hardware chains, and I was like, who knows what they thought of me. Hey, I think I was a pretty good employee, though.
I think I was too.
So let's see. Well, look at this. We're already at 35 minutes. I told you I was going to hog up everything. Do you have anything you want to share for the crazy stuff the kids did this week, or do you just want to?
Oh Lord!
Do you want to just save them?
It's usually just the same old stuff. Jace just being Evel Knievel off of everything. He's like climbing up on the table and just he's given me a lot of anxiety lately.
Yeah.
It's
I did see him on a video that you had shared recently, or maybe it was your husband that shared that he's doing like a bike or a tricycle thing. What was that? It was like
it's
some
a
sort
little
of walking bike, or
what do they call it? The Strider bike or something like that, where it doesn't have pedals, but he just kind of, because Addie just learned how to ride without training wheels. And so she's all big on that. She's wanting to show everybody. She rides to school every morning. And so Jace, being a little brother, he's trying to keep up with her, and she's going like boom, like zoom, zoom, zoom.
Yeah.
And he's like, waddle, 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 just on his bike, like trying to keep up with her. It is hilarious to watch.
Well, keep an eye on that. Make sure the camera stays on that, because inevitably there's going to be something crazy that happens with it.
Oh my gosh!
And I want to make sure that we know about it. I want to see it when it happens. As long as he doesn't get hurt in any kind of serious way.
Right.
All right. Well, I feel like we've covered a pretty good amount here today. Is there anything else that you want to weigh in on before we go?
Not that I can think of. I think that was it.
All right. We have so many other things. We're trying our best to kind of keep it at around this time.
Yeah.
There's so much other stuff we have to talk about.
I know. But easy listening levels. Like I find it real hard to listen to super long podcasts that go over, an hour or more and stuff like that. It's like, I got things to do. I can't just keep listening to this about all these crazy stories and stuff. So,
And we understand you have things to do.
Yeah. I got things to do.
That's right.
Tell your supervisor that.
That's right. That's your fault. I got things to do. You figure it out. Hey, we're out of here. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you like us, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, on YouTube, on Spotify, on Amazon, wherever you listen to your podcast, wherever you watch your podcast. We certainly appreciate you sharing. If every person that listens right now shares it with one other person, we'll have 3 listeners in no time. Oh, 6. That's right. It'll double.
No, we have
it'll double.
3
That's right. It'll double.
So we'd have 6.
You're right. If each one you'll double.
Yeah.
So that would be really great. That would be so cool if we could have 6 before the end of the year.
Endorsements, here we come, baby.
That's right.
Let's go.
Thank you so much for listening. We will, what will we do? We see them next week?
What will we do?
Is that what happens? Is that
Whenever
what happens?
Probably. Yeah.
All right. Flip it straight, keep it weird.
Potentially.
Yeah. I don't know. One day we'll figure out how to land this plane. That's the hardest part of anything, isn't it? Is landing the thing.
Yeah. You forgot the outro, though.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was. So I got nervous because I misplaced it. But here, and so I was trying to think. Let me see. Where is it? Okay.
It's all right. We'll
There
cut
it
this
is.
out.
We are real friends. This is our
Yeah.
real life, and I think we did a pretty good job keeping it weird.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
You excelled at that today, my friend.
See ya.